Hello, and welcome to another episode of SportsWHITT. What's going on, folks? It's your SportsWHITT host here, LeVon Whittaker, and today I have a special guest, Thomas Butler-Guerrero. How you doing, brother?
What's good with you, man? It's good to be here with you in Indianapolis.
Nice to have you, man. Nice to have you. Normally, we have a guest. Nothing changes, but today is a special edition for very important topics that we're going to discuss today with you. We have 24 seconds to make it from 20. To start things off.
Amateur bars, man. Grown man bars is something you got to deal with. So all that elaborated, fabricated ain't gonna equal up to this real shit.
Damian Lillard out of Portland or Russell Westbrook, the newly acquired point guard in Houston? I'll let you start first, Thomas.
Well, I think this one is clear cut off based off last year's playoffs. I think Lillard hasn't missed 10 games any season of his career. Has produced a consistent 27 assists, 44% shooting, 37% from three. Houston and Portland both upgraded their teams. They're both going to be good in a tight Western Conference, possibly a 4-5 matchup. We'll be able to see Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, and get in the playoffs.
I think you make great points there. I have to agree with you that Damian Lillard is going to be the guy that I choose to give the max contract to for these reasons. Three ball. He's just as lethal behind the three-point line as some of the guys we consider the best three-point shooters in the NBA. On top of that, Portland has faith in this guy. 5 years, $196 million extension after this upcoming season. You're talking about a guy who made the playoffs for the first time in the 2013-2014 season. And since then, he has not missed the playoffs. Also, over the course of those seasons from the 13 up until now, he has not finished below the 5th seed but once. And that was when they faced the Golden State Warriors in the first round. And guess what? Because Kevin Durant was a newly acquired piece to the Golden State Warriors. This guy is elite. He can shoot the three ball. He's just as aggressive. He has a defensive perimeter game. He can do it all. Moving on to the next topic. Who's stuck in the worst deal? CP3, 4 years, $160 million, or John Wall, 4 years, $170 million?
Two former All-Stars. I really believe that Chris Paul is stuck in the worst deal. That does not mean that Chris Paul is going to stay in his situation longer than John Wall will. Now, in defense for Chris Paul, I will say that he has only missed 48 games in the last 2 seasons compared to the staggering 91 that John Wall has missed. But in defense for John Wall, in the last 82 games he has played, he has averaged over 20 points and 9 assists, which no other player besides Russell Westbrook has done.
I'm taking CP3. Reasons why? This brother's 34 years old. He's owed $160 million over the next 3 seasons. He's going to be 37 by the time he gets his final contract for $44 million. He will be able to have the option to opt into that final year at the age of 38. But why won't he be able to do it? Because he himself, as the National Basketball Players Association president, made an agreement for the CBA that when you turn 38 years old, you cannot be on a team that signs you on a contract for 4 or 5 years. I'm not worried about John Wall and his injuries because although they are Achilles injuries, he's only 28 years old. We know what type of freak athlete he is. I believe he actually has the ability to go to a different team and make some noise. The next topic. Who will do better without their co-star this upcoming season? Steph Curry without Klay Thompson or Kyrie Irving without Kevin Durant?
The last full season that we saw with Stephen Curry being the primary scorer of the Warriors, he averaged 30 on 50, 45, and 90 while putting up 403 pointers. Kyrie Irving is around 22, 23 points a game. I'm a huge supporter of the Brooklyn Buckets, but I do believe that Stephen Curry will have another MVP caliber season, averaging over 30 points per game.
But here's the deal. If you're Stephen Curry, you're in the system. Not to mention, you didn't lose Draymond Green, who just signed for $100 million. You just got Willie Cauley-Stein, who's better than Kevon Looney. You're not missing out on the doggone thing. 73 and 19 before Kevin Durant got there. What the heck makes you less than what makes you less now that Kevin Durant's gone? You're back to your original state. Folks, listen to me carefully. Kyrie Irving is right up there with Steph Curry. Kyrie Irving getting drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, #1 overall pick. This brother's elite at the system that Stephen Curry has had under Steve Kerr and Mark Jackson. It is what it is, folks.
Now, one thing I will say is there is always 2 sides to every story. Last year, there was a narrative that the Warriors were better off without Kevin Durant. Hopefully, that NBA Finals last season proved that that narrative was thrown out the garbage and shredded. Now, in the last 30 games that Golden State has played without Kevin Durant and Steph has played, they're 24-6. But if you cut that in half, they're 9-6, guys. All right, like I get that just because they're over 500, that means, you know, everybody wants to be a numbers guy and say that without Kevin Durant, the numbers are better. You know, Steph Curry's usage percentage gets better, which is more efficient, more effective for the Warriors offense. That's the style of play they run. Even in the playoffs without Kevin Durant, they were 6-4. You say that's over 500. But in the finals, they were 1-4 when you had to face a Kawhi Leonard, another premier top talent in the NBA.
Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant from downtown. And Golden State takes the lead. Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers. Kevin Durant from downtown.